cherry blossom season in Japan is kind of holy. And yeah, it is super pretty and super beautiful. And here in Japan, we call it Sakura season. It's super nice, but it is also a total gamble because the Sakura only lasts around 10 to 14 days and the timing changes every single year. So you can book a whole trip to Japan thinking, yes, perfect, I'm gonna see the Sakura. And then you get here, and either the blossoms are already gone, and also through the rain, all the petals have fallen off already, or the blooming hasn't even started yet. So it's always a little bit of a gamble, and I would really recommend looking at the prediction apps. But yeah, there's never 100% accuracy. But anyway, so when the cherry blossom season starts, so when it happens, the hype is literally everywhere. So people go out for Hanami. So that means sitting under the cherry blossom trees, having picnics with their friends, with families, and honestly, that's kind of amazing. It's super chill, super nice. And even suddenly, every single shop, even at the supermarket or cafes, they're selling limited edition Sakura themed drinks, snacks, or desserts. And it really became a whole season, even though it just lasted for, let's say, 2 weeks. And of course, if you look up cherry blossom spots in Tokyo, you always see the same places. First, Ueno Park, Yoyogi Park, Meguro Riverside, and many more. And yes, they're super pretty, but famous places are famous for a reason, right? Which usually means one thing: people. A lot of them. So, while those places do look very nice, they can also be absolutely packed and crowded, and it can be a little bit stressful. So instead of telling you the same spot as everyone else does, I wanted to share my top 3 Sakura places in Tokyo where you can actually enjoy the cherry blossoms without getting swallowed or, I don't know, run over by people. So, my first spot is close to Waseda. And especially, it's close to or along the Kanda riverside, and it's also close to the Higo Hosokawa Garden. I'll link it down in the description to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, it gives very similar vibes to the so famous Meguro River walk because you're also walking next to the water, and all the trees are blooming around you, and it looks super magical, and you get really pretty pictures. Of course, here to say, like, it's not as long as the Meguro Riverside, and they don't have food stalls along the riverside, and also not really like many lanterns. So during the night, it does not really get light up, but during the day, really pretty and a lot of cherry blossoms, and I was just surprised, like, hey, no people, what's wrong? This is super pretty here. Why does no one knows about that? And then my second spot is Kameido Central Park. And it's a little bit more outside to the main touristy areas, but it's still really easy to reach. So if you just chop on the JR Sobo line, which is like the yellow one, and you drive around, like, let's say 20 minutes, something like that, or 30 minutes, depending from where you go. Like, there you get, like, actually 2 kinds of great Sakura experience in one, because there is the park itself with a lot of cherry blossoms, and then there's also, again, a riverside nearby where you also see some cherry blossoms. So, if you really want to have like a nice walk and a little bit of a chill atmosphere, I can totally recommend it. And even though, like, being a little bit outside of the touristy area or the main spots in Tokyo, I always think it's a huge win. And then the third spot I would really recommend is the Yasukuni Jinja Shrine near to Kudanshita station. Again, I will link it in the description. And this one is a little bit more popular. You see more people, but it's not nearly as crazy populated or have as many visitors as the super famous spots. So the shrine itself is really huge, the area, and it's beautiful. And inside of the temple area, there are only cherry blossom trees. It's like actually super white if you go in there. It looks, for me, the white cherry blossoms, it looks like popcorn, but well, maybe that's just my imagination. But yeah, popcorn everywhere. And also, there is like a little bit outside of the temple area, there's a small little park. I mean, it still counts to the temple, and there they have food stalls, and they also have, as I said, Sakura themed things. So here I had like a Sakura themed waffle. It was really good. I still don't really know what Sakura tastes like, but yeah, it's really delicious. That's all I can say. And if you actually want to have some more cherry blossoms, you can also get off Iidabashi station. That is one stop before Kudanshita station. And if you walk around like 30 minutes, maybe 25, depending on how fast you're walking, first of all, you will walk through very small, narrow streets, which are super nice. And there's also a riverside. Again, where also cherry blossoms are. And there were literally, I went there twice, and there was no one. And I felt like, why does no one talks about this? This is crazy. But yeah, I mean, the riverside spots, they're popular, and they're of course, all the riversides I've mentioned, they're not as long and as iconic as the Meguro River. But for me, honestly, that's exactly the point, because they're calmer, they're less packed, and still, it's so pretty. Because let's be honest, walking through a sea of people instead of a sea of cherry blossom petals, um, it's not really enjoyable. And to give you like an imagination how crazy it gets, here I have some pictures around Harajuku Station, which is close, of course, also to the shopping area, but also very close to the Yoyogi Park, which is insane during Hanami season. So, yeah. I really love Sakura season, and I would really recommend everyone to visit during this time at least once in their life. But my honest recommendation is, do not get too obsessed with only going to these famous cherry blossom spots you always see on the internet, on Instagram, because honestly, Japan and also Tokyo has cherry blossom trees everywhere. And if you just walk around a little bit and explore different neighborhoods, well, you will probably find your own beautiful sakura spot without all the people. And honestly, I think that's more adventurous and, of course, 100% a better experience. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have a special sakura spot in Tokyo, and see you next week.